How much home can you buy for a given dollar amount in Deland, Florida? Today, I'll be sharing how much home you can buy at various price ranges. These price ranges impact where in Deland you can buy a home, so we'll also be noting where you can buy a home within that range. Deland is unique in that it is stretched out into Lake and Volusia counties, and the types of homes in these counties are quite a bit different as well. My team and I have been helping buyers and sellers in the Deland area for many years, so I understand very well why it's sometimes hard to know how much of a home you can buy for your budget. It's important to note that home prices are always changing. However, these price ranges should remain the same in relation to the others in this video over time. Compare this Deland video to others with the same title on our channel. Just swap out the Deland for Debary or Sanford or whatever. There's a couple others there. When comparing Deland to these others specifically, you'll see that you may get more or less bang for your buck here in Deland than other areas, like maybe down in Lake Mary. Maybe your budget shows up early in this video, but be sure to stick around to see what features are added to each price range, and then towards the end of this video, I'll be addressing the nicest homes that Deland has to offer. I'll also be sharing a couple videos that will supplement this one, which you're going to want to check out. Let's start with the least expensive homes here in Deland, with a range of between 0 and 200 grand. Now, the criteria that I'll be using today is for homes that have either closed in the last 90 days or are currently under contract here in Deland. At the time of this video, there are 55 homes that fit into these criteria. 29 are single-family homes, 13 are condos, and 12 are manufactured homes. For under 200 grand, you can get a 2 or a 3-bedroom single-family residence with around 1,000 square feet and even an acre of land. Now, before you go getting all giddy and crazy and all that, it's important to know that most of these were cash purchases, likely because their condition was poor enough that they couldn't be financed. There was, however, one 3-bedroom home with 1 bath and like 1,300 square feet out on the Lake County side of the land that sold with VA financing for 180 grand. This home didn't have a garage, but it sits on about 0.3 of an acre and it's on a paved road, something you're going to find less common out on the Lake County side of the land. Most of these homes are in the central portion of the land, with most of them being out on the west of 1792 or Woodland Boulevard. There are only a few that I'd consider really on the southeast quadrant of Deland. The condos in this range started at around 140 grand and topped out at 184 grand. These were all 2-bedroom condos between about 950 square feet and a little over 1,150 square feet. Most of these condos are up on the north side of New York Avenue, which I consider really the midway point north and south in Deland, and they're all on the Volusia County side. Some were 55 plus condos and some weren't. If you're looking for a 55 plus arrangement, I've got another video of just 55 plus condos here in Deland, and I'll include a link to that here in a bit. All but one of these were up on the north side of the land, say between New York and 92, which heads out towards Daytona. Next, let's look at the manufactured homes here in Deland, as this is where things get really geographical. I don't know if that's a real word or not, but hopefully you get the idea. All but 4 of these manufactured homes are on the Lake County side of Deland. There are a few manufactured homes way up on the north side, up beyond the Deland Walmart, but when someone needs to meet a lower price point, or maybe they want a little land, I'm almost exclusively looking out on the Lake County side across the St. Johns River. 7 of the 8 manufactured homes in Lake County had at least about an acre of land, and 3 of them had at least 5 acres. Most of these required cash purchases, but there was one 2-2 manufactured home with like 960 square feet on an acre of land that sold for 162 grand. This one did have quite a ride on a dirt road to get there, but it's got a nice shed, it was remodeled, and it really had a good bit of privacy too. Next, let's look at the 200 to 300,000 price range, where there are 133 homes. In a previous video that I did just like this one, I noted that Debary really excels in this category, but they had just 41 homes. Sanford had 55 and Lake Mary had just 23 homes for sale in this category. So you see that Deland really has much more to offer for someone between 200 and 300 grand to spend. From a geographical perspective, these homes are scattered really across most of the Volusia County side, with less of them in the southeast quadrant and a few more of them out off of 42 in Lake County. These homes tend to be older homes built in the 60s or 70s, but there was a 3-2 single-family home with over 1,200 square feet that was financed about a mile east of downtown Deland. Got 300 to 400 grand? Well, Deland has 285 homes that fit here, 281 of which are single-family homes and all of which are on the Volusia County side of Deland. You see now that Deland is bigger than some of the other cities I speak of, but that ratio of homes is still worth comparing to one of those other videos I spoke of before. A lot of these homes will still be older because Deland is an old city. However, there was a brand new 5-3 home with over 2,400 square feet that sold in Pelham Park, which is a newer community out on the west side of Deland, not too far from the train station. Now this price range is where we see more sales in the southeast quadrant of Deland, with neighborhoods like the Old Country Club, Longleaf Plantation, and Victoria Oaks getting in the mix, where you can also get a brand new home pretty close to I-4. Of course, Deland has plenty of older historic homes too. One absolutely beautiful 1910 home with 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, and over 2,100 square feet up on West Minnesota sold for like $350 grand. At the time of this video, homes in this age had price ranges really all over the place. My team and I have been helping buyers and sellers with their real estate needs here in the Deland area for many years. If you'd like help with your real estate needs, either leave a comment in the comment section below or just pick up the phone and give me a call. If you haven't done so already, hit the like and subscribe buttons and click that little notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I post other videos just like this. The number of available homes between 400 and 500 grand drops to 108 available homes here in Deland, which is still quite a bit when you consider that Debary, just down 1792 a little ways, had 71 homes in a recent study I did. You can get a nicer home here, maybe a mid-century modern home with over 1,900 square feet close to Stetson University at the lower end of this range. However, now we're seeing more newer homes, including some brand new homes in the Reserve at Victoria, which is a newer community that tends to have a bit higher price point than most of the areas here in Deland. At this price range, you're going to get 2,000 to 3,000 square feet with a pool or a bunch of them with community pools, and 4 or 5 bedrooms not too far from I-4. There are homes in this price point in other areas too, especially out on the west side of town and up on the northwest side of town towards Glenwood. It's a bit more quiet up there, but there are also some homes up on the north side of town, which makes getting to Daytona and Ormond Beaches pretty easy. Moving up to between 500 and 600 grand, the geography stays pretty much the same, which I'm betting has around 40% of them still being in that southeast quadrant of Deland. It's pretty much the same as the last price range, but the homes do improve. You're now getting 2,500 to 3,500 square feet. You're getting 3 to 5 bedrooms, pools, and maybe a nice home on some land, which is something that Deland has more of than many local cities. Of course, there's plenty of that in Lake County, as I noted before, but the west side of Deland tends to have more larger lots, including some homes with over an acre and some privacy. Here's where we start dipping our toes in the waterfront homes too. There's one beautifully updated home out in the Hontoon area on the canal right by the St. Johns River for 590 grand. We've got a dozen homes that fit in the criteria between 600 and 700 grand here in Deland. 2 of these homes are out on the St. Johns River and 10 of them are on what I'd consider to be on the west side of Deland, completely abandoning the southeast quadrant that we recently shifted into. All but one of these are either on water or have over 2 acres of land with them. One up in Glenwood, which has 2.5 acres and 2,500 square feet, and a gated community closed at just under 675 grand. Got between 700 and 800 grand? Well, there are only 7 homes in this range, as although Deland does have a lot of nice homes, Deland isn't really a huge producer of homes in this range. The homes here are really a mixed bag. There's one in Victoria Park, there's one out in Royal Trails off of Highway 44 in Lake County, another in Glenwood, so there's really not a common denominator here like we've seen in other price ranges in Deland. These are generally just nicer or more home than we saw in the other ranges. There were just 4 homes in Deland that either sold in the last 90 days or are currently under contract for over $1 million. One is a 29-acre farms out on the Lake County side of Deland. One was a gorgeous estate home up on the north side of Deland with like 13 acres on Lake Doherty. It's a gorgeous lake. One was on the St. Johns River, and the other was a custom-built home on 6.5 acres up in Glenwood. These are great homes, but in my mind, they're really nice for a blue-collar town like Deland. Those of you that live here in Deland, let me know if you think Deland is a better value than other areas like maybe Deltona, Debary, Sanford, or Lake Mary. I personally believe it's a better value, but I want to hear your thoughts. Here are a couple other videos that I spoke of earlier. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.